hopefully all of you had a chance to get out and enjoy the beautiful weekend that we had for our 3-day Labor Day weekend. Call the roll, please.
Berglund.
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Schott.
Present.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you. You need a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion of our agenda? If not, call the roll, please.
Schott.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Berglund.
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on then to consent agenda. Tonight for consent agenda, we have the following items, which include minutes of the August 16th regular city council meeting, minutes of the August 27th, August 27th work session, payments for contract services. Actually, we have none tonight. Claims registers and financials for a total of $412,000, $8.39. License and permits, we have the following tonight. The following have applied for a liquor license. El Rey Market LLC doing business as El Rey Market, 210 West Willis Avenue, renewal of a Class C beer permit with Sunday sales privilege. Liquor license approval should be given contingent on completed police and fire inspections. So those haven't been done yet, is that right?
The police inspection has been done.
Fire hasn't yet, okay.
And just for accuracy, Mr. Mayor, it's 210 Wells Avenue.
Okay. All right, need a motion to approve those items under the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Schott.
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Berglund.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to city administrators report.
All right, I've got a few things tonight. First off, just a quick update on the solar project. This is our on-site city solar project. I believe they have solar panels mounted on the 2 of the public works shops, as well as the recycle building. From there, they're gonna head out to the McCurry Center, I believe, start putting some solar panels up on the roof. But also still having the other electrician come back behind and do some hook-ins, tie-ins, things like that. They're hoping to have steel sometime in November for the canopies and pergola by the trail. And their goal is to have everything hooked up and turned on by the end of the year. So hopefully that will be able to happen, depending. I think the big question out there is steel and getting that steel on site. So other than that, also been having talks with Alliant Energy for their solar project out at the Brownfield. That's still moving forward. I think they're on more of a spring start timeframe, dealing with their due diligence things over the winter, and hopefully as soon as spring hits, they'll be getting after that project. Any questions on solar?
Sounds good.
All right. We also just had last week our kickoff meeting for the wayfinding plan. So that is going to be moving forward, hopefully getting through that early into this fall to be able to actually have some signage made through the winter and hopefully get some installed first thing in the spring when the ground thaws out and we can get posts in the ground. Last thing, this is more for Liz, but she's been restarting the codification project to have her code redone and recodified. So she's put everything that we've done together into one package, sent it off to Iowa Codification, and they're going through everything and providing us some updates. So then it'll come back to us, go back to staff and city council to go through again, and then whatever is updated from there, we'll go back and kind of a back and forth volley for a little bit. And then we'll bring it to probably, I would think, a series of council work sessions to get through the whole code, just to review everything and then go through the adoption process. So kudos to Liz for getting all that put together and getting it going again.
Good. It's something we've talked about for a while, so I'm glad we're moving forward. Thank you.
That's everything on my list. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Still having fun.
That's good.
Of course she is. Mayor, council comments. The only thing I have is just that it's an important week in Perry. You know, we have homecoming this week. It's always an exciting time for both the school and the community. So I wish the school well, and I hope everybody has a safe, good homecoming week. And we should take part of it. The parade tomorrow night, so I'm sure they'd appreciate as many of us as possible watching that. That's all I have. Council comments?
6 PM is the parade.
What's that?
6 PM.
Yes,
the parade starts.
It is.
And then, you know,
I just wanted to give kudos to the organizers and participants in the Latino Festival. It seemed like it was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So they did a good job.
It went well.
Yep.
I have just one thing I'd like to share. For a couple months, I've been contemplating a decision I need to make. And I talked to my wife, I talked to my brother, talked to my pastor, talked to Sven, prayed about it, and I finally feel at peace with the decision that I've decided to make. And as I look around this table here of our city council, the only people that have been here longer than I have, Chuck and Susie. I've been on the city council for 11 years. And for you dog owners, that's 77 years in dog years. And it's truly been an honor and a privilege for me to be on the council and represent the people of Perry. And for the most part, it's been a enjoyable and challenging 11 years. But I've decided not to seek re-election for my seat. And so I'll finish out my term, and that'll be my swan song. And I just thank all of you and the entire city staff. Have been great to work with, and all of you have been great to work with as well.
What's your ward?
Ward 2.
You're not at large. That's Chuck.
It's Chuck and Vicky. Yeah, but it's my hope. If you look at the population of Perry, we're somewhere between 40 and 45% Latino. Yet we have no Latino representation on our council. So it's my hope that a Latino individual will come forward and run for this seat. I think that would be a really good thing for Perry to have that representation at the table. So again, thank you, but I've decided to bow out at this point.
Thank you for all your hard work. We're gonna miss you.
You'll certainly be missed by all of us. I know I speak for all of us when I say that. And I personally want to speak for myself, and I know for the group, we want to thank you for your 11 years of service in the council and your years of service to the community, superintendent, and many other organizations and activities that you've been involved in, and I know still will be. So we want to thank you for your many years of community service and many activities, and we all mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Other council comments?
I'll just make one. I am running for reelection.
I have been asked by a number of people, hopefully supporters, I don't know, that whether or not I am running for re-election as mayor. And yes, I am. Other council comments? Okay, if there's no other council comments, we'll move on to open forum. Tonight, we're going to digress a little bit from our usual format and procedures. We're going to have kind of two open forums. The first open forum will be our regular open forum where anybody can speak about any topic. And then, as noted in our agenda, when we get to our next item after the first open forum, we're going to have a discussion and community input on fireworks. I want to go over the ground rules for this first open forum. The same ground rules will apply when we get to the fireworks discussion here momentarily. Open forum is supposed to be a time for the community to present any comments, or any ideas, any thoughts they have to council. They have 3 minutes to do that. And we ask that people, when they do that, come up to the microphone and state their name and address for the record. During open forum, there is not supposed to be, and there won't be tonight, any give and take. In other words, no questions, and people can ask questions, I guess, but it won't be a discourse between council and the person presenting. It's your opportunity to share any thoughts or comments you want to share with council. So we'll have our first open forum right now. And again, if you're here for fireworks, that's great, but save those comments for our next topic. Anybody here for open forum for anything else besides fireworks? Either in person or on Zoom?
My name is John Purdue. I live at 2513 Willis Avenue, and I was here a couple months ago to complain, I guess, about the speeding on Willis Avenue around 16th Street, and it has not stopped. In fact, I think it's getting worse. And it seems to be that it's the drivers that are coming, going westbound that I notice, because I sit out my front porch quite often. And I mean, I don't have a radar of my own, but I can pretty well tell when somebody's going over the speed limit. And I'm not criticizing the police, because I've talked to them and I know that it's hard for them to do much of anything, but I still think the city should consider getting one of those signs, like I mentioned earlier, that shows people how fast they're going. And it says the speed limit is such and such, you are going such and such. And I think that can really help the situation a lot. And I just hope something can be done, because somebody's going to get hurt eventually with the way those people are driving. Then the other second thing is on a lighter side. And since the city owns the hotel now, I just wonder why the American flag never flies at the top of the hotel anymore. And all of the flags in front of the hotel that used to be there are gone. And it just doesn't look right to me, the way it used to be. And I would hope that maybe the city could see that the flags get put back up, and especially the American flag, it should be up on top of the hotel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else here for open forum on topics other than fireworks? Okay. If not, we'll move to old business, which is a discussion and community input on fireworks regulations. During this time, the council will review key points from our special meeting we had back on August 27th, work session, and take any community input and comments on fireworks. Again, we ask that you step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to address council. Again, it's your chance for input. We will not be having any discussion between council and presenters. It's your chance to present to us. I know we have some people here for fireworks, so somebody want to step up and start with the input?
Hi, my name is James Kaczynski. I live at 1437 Heritage Avenue, Earlham, Iowa. I'm the owner of Freedom Fireworks. I had a sales tent location here in Perry at Harlan Ace Hardware. I am here to bring some ideas to the table to help with some of the issues talked about at the last discussion you had. I have heard that some people are concerned about the noise of fireworks and their pets. At all of our sales locations, we sell a product called Heavenly Hounds. It is an all-natural peanut butter bar used for dogs to help with the anxiety they get from dog grooming, the vet, thunderstorms, fireworks. If you want more information on this, you can look it up at heavenlyhounds.com or visit our website at freedomfireworksia.com. I encourage people to use this. It works very well. I have multiple people that do use this, and they do swear by it. I have a friend that uses it every time there's a thunderstorm, and they just give them a little bit of it, and it works great. I also heard it has been hard for the police department to enforce the rules when fireworks are not allowed, as well as a large number of fireworks being shot off in one day. People were unable to enjoy the 4th to be outside, with the current ordinance only allowing fireworks on the 4th from 9 to 11 p.m. Since they only get one day, this is why there are so many going off. If you allow them to shoot them off, say on the weekend before and the weekend after, as well as the 4th, they would be more spread out and allows people to have the time to do them legally instead of only getting one day. I have seen this done in other cities. The other benefit of this are it will be less strain on the police department. Say the 4th falls during the work week, not everyone will want to celebrate it on that day. They may have to work the next day or had plans with other family members and were out of town or whatever the circumstances may be. That then gives them the opportunity to shoot them off during one of those days on the weekend that way they can enjoy it. The 4th fell on a Sunday this year. I'm sure most people would like to have shot them off on a Saturday versus a Sunday. You can also go as far as say allow them on the 4th, but say after a set time of like 4 p.m. So people can enjoy the day and allow them to shoot them off in the evening. The other thing that was brought up was the rezoning of the sales locations. I have worked many hours and still do with my company. I hold a full-time job as an automotive diesel tech. I'm married with 2 kids, and there is nothing easy about any of this. I work on this year round. I've worked 3 years to get the location I currently have here in Perry. And rezoning the sales of fireworks will not change the number of fireworks bought by the citizens of Perry. People have been going to Missouri for years, illegal or not. It will just make my job harder as a small locally owned business owner here in Iowa. It will also hurt my sales. There are tons of people that are not from Perry that buy fireworks from us. We have people from many surrounding cities and counties. We also had many people from other states that stopped by to buy. So changing the location will only hurt my small business. Let's also not forget the reason why we celebrate the 4th of July. It is a day to celebrate our independence. Don't take any more freedoms away from us as many government officials keep doing regardless of what the people want. John Adams, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, said, and I quote, "I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade with shoes, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other from this time forward forevermore." And I unquote. If you have any questions, please let me know. Liz has my contact information. I want to thank you for your time. And I want to thank the mayor and the police chief for taking the time to talk to me on the phone last week. Thank you.
Thank you. Sven, before we move on for the comments, I think you were going to give a brief summary or comment about where we kind of left off at our August 27th meeting. You want to go over that?
Sure. So kind of the 2 big takeaways that we're working with legal counsel on to bring an updated ordinance to city council would be limiting the location of fireworks sales, which would be to heavy and light industrial areas, certain distance away from other buildings, and then also not allowing the discharge of fireworks anywhere in the city limits. So that's kind of where the conversation went. And then hopefully by the next council meeting, I think on the 20th, we could have a draft ordinance that council could consider. But also, I think it's good that we do have a little bit of time in between to get additional input from the community.
Okay, thank you. Okay, other comments regarding fireworks?
Raymond Knapp, 414 Second Street, Perry. I wanted to comment, first of all, last year I was involved in listening to the and commenting on the changes that we made for this year. I felt very confident in the council when they did those changes. I felt that it addressed some of the dangers that we had in some of the public areas, and I really felt that that was a great change. After I visited here with the open forum or the open work session, I was really disappointed in the fact that the strong feeling is to just ban them totally. And I really have a hard time understanding how that works, because a lot of us who abide by the law are going to be punished. Not the ones that were breaking the law, because they'll continue to do that. And I don't think the police have the facilities to take care of all the lawbreakers. And so consequently, I think you're creating more of a problem by banning it. I think you've done very well. I don't even see that changing the locations of the sales is going to improve anything. I think it's a pipe dream that you're trying to go after. And I really don't think that banning them totally is the proper way to go. It's almost like I was thinking, well, I have a lot of people speeding down the 2nd Street by my place. We have little children there and that. Maybe we just should close the street completely to solve the problem. But really, that's not the answer. So I don't know that actually banning them in Perry would be the right thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Other comments on fireworks?
Hello, Chris Corrigan, 630 Fifth Street, Perry, Iowa. I just wanted to kind of mainly listen tonight, but my sister and I, we've been running the Bellino fireworks since they were legalized here in Iowa, and we've been at the 10 Hy-Vee. And the only thing I know is if they move where we sell them, I don't know how that's going to affect the Bellino product, because I know they have a contract with Hy-Vee for all the Hy-Vees around Iowa. So it's just a fun thing that our family does. We've done it since the beginning, and that's all I wanted to express. That just against moving it, but you know, I'm okay with whatever you guys decide.
Thank you. Other comments? Now's your chance. Get up and speak.
Ann Snowden, 721 16th. My concern is not necessarily the banning or the not banning. My concern is the hours. We're only legal July 4th from 9 to 11. My neighborhood was a war zone. Okay, not just on the 4th. Several days before and several days after. That's what I'd like to see stopped. But I have another concern. City ordinance says that you cannot discharge fireworks within 200 yards of a nursing facility or a hospital. Now, 200 yards is 600 feet. Look at a football field. How many of those across does it take to be outside the zone of the hospital and the nursing facilities? We've got the hospital, Perry Manor, although they have a new name, the Lutheran Home. You got Masonic Home or Eden Lutheran Home, whatever. That pretty much takes out the whole East End as far as being able to legally discharge firearms. I would rather see an enforcement in that regard so that people who are under medical treatment care or in a nursing home don't have to listen to it for several days or at all. It's a $250 ticket if you get caught. And getting caught is also the hard thing. Because we've got one in our neighborhood, they were turned in 2 or 3 times for illegally discharging. What they do, a couple of them, and then they're in the house. And they can't be caught. So I don't know what you're gonna do with the hide and seekers.
Thank you. Other comments?
Okay, one of the places that y'all considered to move the fireworks stands to is Brownfield Station or whatever it's called out there by Tyson. Is that city owned? What kind of liability is the city opening themselves up to if you do move them out there?
Anybody else want to share their comments with us tonight about fireworks? One more request. Anybody else want to? If not, we'll move on.
And I didn't know, does anybody on Zoom want to make comment?
If not, I guess we'll move on. I do sincerely want to thank each of you who got up and shared your comments with us. It's appreciated. I wish we had more people on every meeting basis would come and share their comments with us during open forum. So I want to thank each of you who spoke tonight. And as we indicated, there is no action on fireworks tonight. We'll be putting an ordinance together, but there is no action tonight. Tonight was our opportunity to hear your concerns and comments. Again, thank you.
You all made some great points. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll move on then to the next topic, which is approval of services agreement with Safe Building LLC. Safe Building Compliance and Technology recently transitioned their operations to a different business entity, requiring a new service agreement to be completed for the new entity. Safe Building LLC council approval said agreement during the June 21, 2021 meeting. However, it was later determined by Safe Building LLC that a portion of Schedule B fee schedule was missing from the agreement. Safe Building LLC has again requested a new agreement be completed, reassuring us that the services, personnel, and pricing structure are remaining the same. A copy of the original agreement before the transition is included in our packet tonight for reference. Need a motion?
I move that we approve the services agreement with Safe Building LLC.
Second.
Discussion.
Yep, just kind of a housekeeping thing, same as last time it was on the agenda.
Yeah. Okay. If there's no other discussion, call the roll, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, approval of pay application number 3 for the wastewater treatment facility improvement. Pay application number 3 in the amount of $610,900.60 to Woodruff Construction for the construction of the wastewater treatment facility improvements. To date, total payments requested by the contractor is 3.8% of the total amount of work to be completed under the contract. All documents have been reviewed and signed by the engineer and are recommended for approval. Need a motion, please?
I move that we approve pay application number 3 for the wastewater treatment facility to Woodruff Construction.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Do have Dave and Matt here tonight to provide an update, just kind of on how things are going and.
So a lot of focus around the clarifier areas for the last few weeks, removing old equipment, getting old footings out, getting grading done. Last 2 weeks, it's had a big emphasis on underground pipe work. I don't know if you guys have been out and seen me with the dig it, but that's been the primary focus. In the coming week, we're starting to get ready to put in the outfall pipe, takes everything out to the river. They're on schedule, still on schedule, what they had proposed. They've had to shuffle around quite a bit of the order of construction based on when things arrive. So if they get pipe, they're working on pipe. They're kind of having issues getting some of the clarifier materials, some of those type of equipment, electronics, those kind of things. So they're kind of jumping around a little bit on their schedule as much as they can. But, as of this point, their goal is still to have structures up by winter time so they can be working within the buildings while it's snowing. So we keep our fingers crossed that materials continue to arrive and we see things show up, but that's the goal.
Do they have sufficient staff, or are they having difficulties with filling positions?
No, they're for what they're doing right now. They've done all right. A lot of the work that's going on right now is a lot of subs to Woodruff. So they've got dirt guys out there, we've got pipe guys out there. My understanding is that the dirt guys have been pretty busy, but the pipe guys are starting to show some availability. So that's helping them.
Yeah.
So far, it hasn't been quite an issue, but we'll see once we start getting into the building where we have a lot of specialized activities.
Yeah.
Those tend to be a little more time consuming. So.
Today, Baker Electric, they abandoned our power to power from our office. That line's gonna get abandoned, so they trenched a line sidewalk. So essentially, we're gonna be using solar. Another benefit.
So certainly, if anybody wants to take a tour and check out construction, just get a hold of Dave. I'm sure he'd walk you around.
Okay, good.
Is that animal shelter still in use with the pet rescue?
Yep. We hold the animals 7 days.
We hold them 7 days, and then if they're not claimed or whatever, they go to the pet rescue.
Can't we just pay them to hold them for 7 days and we don't have to mess with that?
Well, that'd be nice. You know, it generates some revenue. I mean,
Chief, did you want to say something about that?
Rescue doesn't have a license to do that.
Okay,
Now,
I was wondering. Thank you.
It was discussed a little bit, but we felt it was best to kind of have that clean break between like the city ordinance and holding time, and then we turn them over to the pet rescue.
And I'm not, I'm on the board with the pet rescue, and I'm not sure they would always have a vacancy for our animals. They're pretty full they're always full with cats, and dogs, they're pretty full most of the time too, so, yeah.
Most of those come and get picked up that are.
Well, dogs do, but cats, not so much.
Not so
Right
much.
now, we have a mother cat, 2 young kittens that can't eat on their own. We have a half-grown kitten. Just got another cat in today. We have 2 dogs right now. In fact, we had 3 dogs this morning, got rid of 1 today. Yeah, we're just about full.
I think the relationship between the 2 entities is working out okay right now. Any other questions about wastewater treatment facility improvements? If not, thank you, gentlemen. Be fun to see it move forward. Next item, approval of change order number 1 for the crack ceiling project. What's that?
We forgot to vote.
Oh, call the roll, please.
McCauley,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay, next item then. Approval of change order number 1 for the crack ceiling project. Change order number 1 is a balancing change order that includes the increase in unit pricing by $1,000 for traffic control, an increase on contract quality by 26,320 LF at 0.85 cents, and an increase on contract unit price by $1,000 for mobilization. The change order was reviewed and has been recommended for approval by the project engineer. The net increase of this balancing change order is $24,372 with a final contract price of $48,642. Motion, please.
I make a motion to approve change of order number 1 for the crack ceiling project.
Second.
Discussion.
Seems like a doubling in price.
So Dean also was in this morning and asked that question, but what we do is we budgeted $50,000 for the crack ceiling project. And we did this same thing on the last one. It's also sort of what we do with our overlays too, but we budget and put the quote out kind of based on a conservative number of what we expect the bids to come back as. So when those bids come in lower, we're able to increase that contract and have them do more work to get closer to our budget amount. So this is just kind of that adjustment to get to what we budgeted based on the unit price per foot of crack ceiling.
You said it so well, you don't.
Yeah, so one of those things to go along with it is just with the current COVID supply chain, we weren't sure where those prices were gonna come in. So we were a little reserved on it, but ultimately we got the final goal of the 2016 overlay project. We were able to crack seal all of it for that amount of under the 50,000.
I just don't like the wording of the change order.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Should have said, hey, we seal a lot more than we thought. Other than that, it's fine. We did get way more than we thought we would start with, so.
We will take that under advisement. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like you doubled the price.
All right, any other discussion on change order number one? If not, call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
McCauley,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, approval of pay request number one for 2021 crack ceiling project. Pay application number one in the amount of $48,642 to Parking Lot Specialties LLC for the 2021 crack ceiling project. This is the final pay request for the project and releases the retainage. Work has been completed in accordance with the contract and all documents have been reviewed and signed by the engineer and are recommended for approval. Motion, please.
I move that we approve pay request number one for crack ceiling project.
I'll second that.
Discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Berkland.
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, resolution approving statement of completion and final acceptance rather, for the 2021 crack ceiling project. Project engineer Jacob Aarons and of Bolton and Mink has submitted the statement of completion and final acceptance for the 2021 crack ceiling project in accordance with the plans and specifications and sets the final contract amount at $48,642. The project engineer recommends the acceptance of said work and issuance of the statement of completion and final acceptance of the work under the conditions and guarantee of the contract. This resolution would accept the completion and final acceptance and authorize the mayor to sign all forms necessary to execute. Motion, please.
I make a motion, we approve statement of completion of final acceptance of the 2021 crack ceiling project.
I'll second.
Discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Berkland.
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. New business, approval of an airport commission member. Mr. David Sheffer submitted a letter of intent on August 16th, 2021, volunteering to serve on the airport commission, stating he had an interest in aviation and to learn from the opportunity. The airport commission recommends to council the approval of the new member, Mr. Sheffer. This appointment would be for a 4-year term and would end August 31st, 2025, if appointed. Motion, please.
I move that we approve.
David Sheffer.
Second.
Discussion.
So this has actually been open for quite a while. It's actually Liz's open seat from the airport commission from over a year ago. So I think we decided we're going to keep her on at City Hall. So we're able to fill this position, but luckily David stepped up to the plate and is willing to come on board. So next Tuesday would be his first meeting.
Great. Well, it's nice you kept the position at the airport open in case things didn't work out at City Hall.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that it works out at City Hall. I prefer
Me
they
too.
have, so, all right. And once again, we're very lucky to have a community volunteer step up who's really interested, I think, in volunteering to serve on the airport commission. So again, as I say so many times, but I really mean it each and every time, we're fortunate to get so many good volunteers from the community. Any other discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Walling.
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Berkland.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, next item, resolution approving an agreement with the Iowa DLT for maintenance and repair of primary roads within the city of Perry. The Iowa Department of Transportation wishes to enter into a new agreement for maintenance and repair of primary roads, which includes items such as snow removal, street cleaning, and traffic control devices for a period of 5 years, ending on June 30th, 2026. The DOT agrees to pay the city for their services through the supplemental agreement. This resolution would authorize the mayor to sign both agreements for maintenance and repair of primary roads in the supplemental agreement. Motion, please.
I move that we approve an agreement with the Iowa DOT for the maintenance repair of primary roads within the city limits of Perry.
I'll second.
Discussion?
So this is the same agreement that we do with the DOT every 5 years, just for First Street. So, which also is a good reminder, when we worked on the lane conversion, we were going to bring that back a year later. So I think DOT has some data they're going to give us, and we'll bring that back to council and kind of present that to show you the form, how that's worked. Yeah.
The only comment is that the bike lane is too narrow.
Yeah.
And the turning lane is too wide.
And yeah, we've had some conversations, but it's hard because the lanes have stayed the same width the whole corridor. And that side is kind of the area, but I thought they were gonna narrow things up a little bit when they repainted, but we'll have that conversation again.
You still can't really see around at Park Street.
Any,
They did help that.
It did help
Yeah,
some.
yeah, they
Yeah.
did some trimming
Yeah, you
up
have an
there.
extra 2 feet before you get hit.
Yeah.
any further discussion related to the DOT maintenance and repair agreement with the city? If not, call the roll, please.
McCauley,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Okay, next item, resolution authorizing the soliciting of a request for qualifications for a sewer cleaning and inspection contractor. The city of Perry wishes to solicit for proposals in order to identify a contractor qualified to provide sewer cleaning and inspection services. This request for qualifications is designed for those interested in entering into a definitive agreement with the city to provide services for a 5-year period. With passage of this resolution, the RFQ will be solicited, and those interested should follow the response instructions, responding no later than 2 p.m. on September 27th, 2021. Motion, please.
I move we pass a motion authorizing the solicitation or soliciting of a request for qualification for a sewer and inspection contract.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Okay, and Josh is also here. He can talk about it too, but the last time we went through this, I believe was 2014, and we got AccuJet to come on board to do all of this for us, but a couple things. The contract that we had with them, I think expired last year sometime, and with COVID and things like that, we just never really had the time or took the time to update that and go through this process, but they just allowed us to kind of go on a year-by-year deal. So it was nice to be able to do that. But they also now offer slip lining. So we'll be able to also in this qualifications request ask that we get like a per foot price so that we can just kind of do an on-call lining if we have an area that needs to be lined quickly or smaller things like that. So it'll be nice to be able to have that all in the same package for cleaning, televising, so that we can keep going on our sewer maintenance program that we have. So.
Will this be open to do other businesses do the same thing?
Yep, so we'll post this on the website, on the Iowa League of Cities website, and then I think Bolton Mink is going to send it out to some other sewer cleaning companies.
And do they send you a bid on what they would charge you?
Yep.
That's how that works?
Yep,
Okay.
so sealed
Mhm.
proposal that Liz will get at City Hall.
Great.
Yep. I forgot something, Joshua.
No, actually what they'll do is they're just sending their qualifications because it's an RFQ. They actually will not give a price. We'll do a review of every company to get their background and stuff. And then the pricing comes after the selection of the qualifications. It's been really good so far. I mean, people don't realize we have over 200,000 feet of sanitary sewer underneath the roads in town. We have our town divided into 11 zones. Over the last 5 years, we have been able to camera and jet and camera inspect every sewer line in Perry. And any major problems that we found, we fixed every single I'll say major minor problem. There's some other things that are more long-term fixes and stuff like that. And now we just went back into, we're starting to jet. I think we just did 4 phases, 3, 5 phases. So we're back into that. So the sewer lines are getting technically cleaned every 5 years. We have problem areas that we hit and stuff. So it's a great program to have. So.
And you're amazingly fast at it. I know we've had some problems and that day people have come out.
Yeah.
It works out pretty good. So.
And that's a huge benefit to being able to have that fast response time of somebody being really close. And that is kind of a large part of the scoring criteria that we go through in reviewing those qualifications and then. So.
We're pretty fortunate. If we have a problem in Perry, we can usually have somebody here within 1 to 2 hours to get that problem. Every Friday too, we do have sewers around town. There's about 50 manholes that the guys go out and check, visually inspect them, make sure they're down. Just in areas that we've known, we've had problems. But a lot of those problems have went away since we started this maintenance program. So it's good for everyone. Nobody wants to back up sewers. Absolutely the worst thing. So. Yeah, we have a GIS system where we have all of our manholes. They came in a GPS, every manhole, storm intake, everything. All that data is loaded into an internal file for all of us to use, and we can click on those, look at elevations, look at when they were cleaned, look at if there was any problems, anything. So it's really handy. Jack and myself use those for locates. The waterworks uses that for locates. When somebody calls Iowa One Call, we have to go out and paint sewer lines. We get on, that's why we have iPads. We get on and paint those lines in there. It's very accurate. It's our sewer systems, I would say, top notch compared to what it used to be. So, yeah.
No more woodwoods?
What's that?
No more wood lines?
No. There's some wooden streets still underneath in town. I don't know of any wooden sewer lines anymore. So,
All right.
we might find one day, but.
Thank you, John, for the update. Any further discussion on the sewer? If not, call the roll, please.
Walling.
Yes.
Berkland.
Yes.
Holly.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, our next item is resolution authorizing the soliciting of a request for proposal for a qualified tree trimming and removal. The city of Perry wishes to solicit for proposals in order to identify a contractor qualified to provide tree trimming and removal services. This request for proposals is designed for those interested in entering into a definitive agreement with the city to provide services for a 3-year period. With passage of this resolution, the RFP will be solicited, and those interested should follow the response instructions, responding no later than 2 p.m. on September 27th, 2021. Motion, please.
I make a motion, we pass a resolution authorizing the soliciting of a request proposal for a qualified tree trimming and removal.
Second.
Discussion.
The tree expert in the city. I'm not the tree expert. We all know that. One thing that we've been wanting to do is for several years is send out an RFP, which is a request for proposals, which that'll actually be a monetary amount coming back to us for work such as emergency tree work, trimming, different things like that. One thing that John and us have been working on is the ash borer that's going around. We're trying to develop a site. That's a whole nother issue, but part of this, the contractor could help us with some ash tree removal. I've been with the city for 19 years now, and I know, there's a couple times we've tried going out, trimming trees around town. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the time or the manpower. That's like crack sealing. We tried doing that once. We probably did 5 blocks. These guys did how many blocks? Yeah, 60 in 2 days. We don't have the equipment. We don't have the manpower. We have a bucket truck, but we don't have a tree trimming actually bucket truck. About 2 years ago, we did have a local tree company go through. and trim all of First Street, all of 144. And we probably had, I don't know, 20 farmers call and say how great it was. The semis used to kind of clean those out and stuff like that. But trim those up. I think everybody really liked that. One thing we've been kind of wanting to do is have somebody kind of split the town maybe into thirds and go through and trim the trees in the right of way. Not only for compliance, which is 13 foot over the street, 9 foot over the sidewalk, but also for some visibility. You know, you can just go cut, but that's the other thing I kind of want to do is make the trees look good, and also so you can see around them, because it's some intersections, it's tough. The other thing we want to do is the alleys. We used to have the alleys completely trimmed up really well when we were running garbage trucks down there. That was an advantage because the trees stayed down. Disadvantage, it tore the heck out of all the alleys. Now we're back in the streets, which is a lot better, but those alleys, they tend to overgrow. I know we spent time, Jack and myself, we went out, I think last week for a compliance issue. Mark Colton had wrote somebody up, I think a couple times. They didn't do it. I mean, Jack spent like 3 hours there just on 2 houses trimming up. It was terrible. But we got that all trimmed up. That's something that the contractor that we would be looking for is the alleys, the streets, everything. So basically, I would say with this, the city would basically be trimming those trees in the right of way and in the alleys. We would probably go on like a 3-year rotation where they're constantly done. The compliance officer's not writing people up. We're not going out and doing it. We can concentrate more on other things we need to do. The ash borer is going to be taking a ton of our time here, more than anyone realizes. There's probably 1,500 ash trees we figured in town that are all going to have to go. We're going to try to do a lot of those in-house, and the things that we can't get that are too dangerous, we'll have a contractor do. We don't want to get near power lines or anything like that. So there's a lot of tree work to do. But this is something we've been wanting to do for a long time is you know, get somebody to do that. You know, we use tree contractors quite often. The tree board puts out different trees for removal, different things like that. This contract, whoever got this RFP would be the one that would be doing those removals for the city at a set price. So.
Well, I think one thing that we learned through Horatio is the city just really doesn't have a good command of the site. So all of this is kind of snowballing into us. We made a decision last week on Thursday to pick a spot out of the Brownsville back out of city limits to develop that and command of the site. And spend some time. And the site is critically part of us being able to manage the urban canopy. Can't take it all to the, you know, we can't just take it down to the wastewater treatment plant. That's not big enough. It's still need to manage brush. It's just not. So I think we take that decision and moving forward with developing a site just west of town. Have before we done so that we know what we're talking about as far as they talk about equipment upgrades and purchasing, about really knowing what we have in the right. We're in the process right now. of doing that. I think this piles that are still around there, so it's very informational, and there's
And one thing, they have a call into Iowa State University, to the forestry department, to see if there's any interns or students that would be interested in coming up here, and actually doing a GPS identification of all the trees. You know, time-wise, it's gonna take a lot of time. We did it Jack and myself did it during the raid show, and it took a lot of time to go out there and do all the trees for FEMA, countless hours. And we thought it'd be kind of a cool thing if Iowa State wanted to do something like that. So we know what, you know, when the, I don't know, locust beetle comes, or the, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. The blue spruce snake. I don't know. They make fun of me because I do not know any. I know maples, and that's about it. But this would be something that we're kind of want to amp up, kind of like we did with our sewer program, about 10 years ago, is get something going. John's done a great job. He knows a lot about trees. This area here, he's kind of partners with Dallas County Conservation Department to work together with us. He told them what was going on. They're going to bring some of their equipment in and help us. So,
Any other discussion or questions on trees? Okay. Call the roll, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
McCauley.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, resolution authorizing the sale of unused/outdated equipment. The city of Perry has accumulated a piece of equipment that is no longer needed for municipal purposes and desires to dispose of a 2010 Chevrolet Impala. Planning and Zoning Department. This equipment will be disposed of in a manner calculated to obtain the best possible sale price, and the finance officer will deposit the proceeds into the city of Perry's operation fund. Motion, please.
I move that we authorize the sale of unused outdated equipment.
Discussion.
This is just an old hand-me-down that building official got a new hand-me-down. So this one is definitely at the end of its useful life and ready to find a new home.
How many miles are on that?
I have no idea.
Is that the one that's sitting out over here by the?
Yep,
Yeah.
by the buses.
Probably just getting broken into. Any other discussion on our outdated equipment sale? If not, call the roll, please.
Collie.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We've covered a lot of topics tonight. We had some good discussion and some good information sharing. Having no other business before us, we stand adjourned at 6:57 PM. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening, what's left of it.